Hello and welcome back. It is Sunday afternoon, and so I'm here to sprint or query more people to reject me. I think it might be time to look at my query again. This week I have Doc Coleman with me. Hello,
Hello
Doc.
again.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm a lot cooler than I was yesterday because yesterday I had to go and take a batch of books out to the Maryland Renaissance Festival, so they'll have my books on hand for my book signing in October.
Super exciting. I love the bookstore at the fair.
Hmm?
I love the bookstore at the fair.
They are good people. They are the only book page after page is the only bookstore in the fair.
Yeah.
And they're very much aware of that market, and they want to cater to their readers.
That makes sense.
We've got another 2 weeks before the fair starts, but
nice.
Everybody was there getting things ready.
I'm very sure of that. My friends who have booths and things have been talking about all their preparation for weeks, months, days, years, lifetimes. So I see we have a Jenny. Hello and welcome. Doc has groceries, so I thought we would pop into a sprint real quick, and when we get back, maybe talk a little bit more. So let's see. If I go into history, no bookmarks.
Hope you're ready to write, Jeannie.
Productivity sprints are where it's at. So, okay. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to share my audio. Oh, hello, MM Ward, and welcome. I'm going to share my Chrome tab. Jenny is definitely ready to go. And we're going to pop into a sprint so Doc can get his groceries put away. So 3, 2, 1, boom. Oh, wait, I should share the window, right?
You should share the window. And the sound.
So, okay, let's get your words in, Maggie. 3, 2, 1, boom. There we go, for reals. And we're back. Hello and welcome. I see that we got a Greg and a Maggie. And let's see who else popped in. Spence. All the amazing people are here. Hello and welcome. And Maggie says, all hail the feline vampire lord Catechus. Yes, there may have been several lectures about we don't eat mama's ankles or wrists or USB cables.
While she's doing this live stream. No.
many lectures. So many lectures. I keep getting told that I adopted a cat that doesn't actually speak English, but that's not going to stop me from lecturing his silly butt.
Learn a new language. Lecture your cat multiple times.
Right? I got him a harness, and I've taken him out on it twice.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't get the collar to stay on him. So, I mean.
Does he take well to the harness?
Once I get it on him, he'll wander around the yard, and I don't want to take him on actual walks. I'd rather he declare his territory and stay in it. His name originally was Atticus, but I'm pretty sure Catechus is going to be official. Greg asked if it was an official name or not. So, how was your sprint?
I got all my groceries in, and I had 10 minutes to spare. So.
Nice. I'm working on open cups are not for cats.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going well right now, but it usually works better if the water's more than halfway down, so he can't actually reach it, and so
he can actually stick his face into it. No.
Yeah, we're working on it though. It's a work in progress. So let's see. So just check in. I shared off some cat cam as my cat gnawed on my wrist, and the mic stand and the USB hub. Jenny suggests putting soap on the wires and cables, like a bar of soap. Okay. Yeah, I'd heard of getting like a pepper rub, but I have soap in the house. So Sarah's cousin Jacob is here. Hello, Jacob. And Greg is being a copycat, getting his groceries in and warming the rotisserie chicken. I have been binge reading ridiculous rom-coms on my phone, and in one of them, there's a housing community in Miami that has a rescue alligator with a 3D printed limb because it lost one limb in a boat accident. So it can only swim in circles. And they have a deal: as long as somebody feeds him a rotisserie chicken a day, he won't eat the dogs. And so far, he's holding up his end of the deal. So, so yeah, it's been a good week. I know.
I'm sorry. Is Greg equating small dogs with rotisserie chickens? No. Potentially.
Yeah. So I know last week I mentioned that I didn't know if I was going to be here this week. My mom had her checkup where they were going to find out how. My mom has a bicuspid heart valve where it should be a tricuspid heart valve, and so her heart valve has hit the point where it needs replacing. So Thursday they went in to check to see if there was anything else they needed while they were in, and her arteries look beautiful, which means instead of immediate escalation into surgery, it's we'll talk to you about your results next week and get you scheduled for surgery.
Okay, that sounds good. It's that regular pressure cleaning from the missing valve, right?
Exactly. So it could have been, your arteries are horrible, you have clots all over the place, we need to go now, but it ended up being very routine. A friend of mine has mentioned that this is the most common heart defect that people live with, which makes sense, and that it's, for heart surgery, a pretty routine thing.
I guess it really depends. It's like if it's supposed to be a tricuspid valve, but you're missing one of the cusps, it depends on, is there a hole there, or are the two halves doing the same job?
She's had a heart murmur since she was 5.
Mm-hmm.
So right, yeah. Greg says he's got a leaky heart valve, and so they keep an eye on it until it needs fixing, and then because you don't want to do heart surgery unless it's necessary.
Yeah, my brother-in-law had heart surgery when he was like an infant, and he's got a major scar down the front of him.
Yeah,
but, they did a quick repair then.
Okay, yeah. So they actually managed to do the inspection through an IV in her arm using like child-sized needles. So
through her arm, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool,
right? You know,
I knew
they prepped her in case they had to go in a different route, but they ended up being able to go in that way and check everything out. So
I knew they did the femoral camera. Yeah, femoral cameras, but I hadn't heard about brachial ones.
Yeah, she had been warned and prepped in case they needed to do that, but they ended up not having to. So her arm's a little bruised, but she was home by noon. So huge relief there. Huge relief. I mean, they still will need to replace the valve, probably in the short term and not the long term, but it's probably, I would assume, a couple weeks out to get onto the surgery routine, since it's obviously not critical. It's not you're not going home.
It's not immediate. It's not an immediate concern.
Right. As opposed to my dad back in February, failed his stress test, went in for, I think, basically what mom just did, and ended up 2 days later having quadruple bypass. So I understand how fast these things can escalate. Yep. And I could give my mom a hard time about, they've been divorced since I was 3, about how they both, for their birthday weekend, failed a heart stress test. So, let's see. Greg says he has no idea how many cusps his valve has. Me neither, but apparently tricuspid is normal and bicuspid is not.
It depends on which valve. They're both bicuspid and tricuspid valves in the heart. They're supposed to be in different places.
Oh, goodness. Jenny says her youngest son had open heart surgery at 6 months old. Oh, my goodness. I can't imagine the stress. But it sounds like it turned out okay. So that's good.
Yeah, my question would be, how old is your youngest now? So.
Yeah. And Greg says, I'm told they can do wonderful things with modern arthroscopic stuff. Yeah.
And it's really amazing how much they can do with so little intrusion. Yeah.
And Greg asks, is my dad okay? Yes, he was mowing the lawn like 3 months later. So he's doing great. So I think we're all lucky to have hearts. And Ginny says he turned out fine and he's 26 now. So that's good.
Yeah, that's like my brother-in-law. It's like once they went in and fixed it, he was fine.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's got a massive scar, but
right.
Otherwise he's been tip-top.
Yeah, I'm just kind of mad at Dad for having the quadruple bypass because I knew I had heart disease from Mom's side, but I didn't realize I had it from Dad's side too.
You give it to me from both sides,
right? I thought I could dodge it, and I mean, last time I went in, they asked me if I was dizzy or lightheaded because my blood pressure was so low. So I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
I think
Hashimoto's is bad enough. You don't want heart problems on top of that.
Yeah. I think my blood pressure was what? 62/89 or something like that. So I'm doing okay, blood pressure wise for the most part.
Good.
But yeah, so I think Jacob is playing Team Fortress 2 right now. Enjoy your game, Jacob. So, well, I am about 5 pages from finishing this rom-com and about to actually start doing some querying. So what do y'all say about another sprint?
Okay. I fired up Scrivener, and I'm going to jump back into Rage of Ragnarok and start writing more on that. Thanks. I'm
I
still
feel like
waiting.
you need to listen to like fantasy metal when doing Rage of Ragnarok. I mean, come on, does that not say epic metal?
Hey, I've got Viking air pirates in the South Pacific. What more can you want?
Right. So
Besides an explanation.
yeah. People, let me know in the comments, what are you working on today? If it's baking cookies, that's cool. If it's, getting some writing done, that's cool. If it's scheduling social media posts for the week or, finishing reading a rom-com, do you? So, okay. Let's go ahead and get started adding to stream. And 3, 2, 1, boom. And we're back. I think I know where I want to tweak my query letter. And do not chew on the USB cable.
But Mom,
I need to get him into a dentist. He's got some gum inflammation. And when I adopted him, they're like, he might have something with a long name that, you know, can cause needing the teeth to come out and drooling and stuff. And either that or it's inflammation from just being off nursing. But his gums are a little inflamed, and I'm hoping that's why he gnaws on everything. I've never known such a chewy cat.
I don't know.
Do your cats gnaw? Did they gnaw on things when they were young?
They would gnaw on like the edges of cardboard boxes.
He's got this great cardboard box that like opened with flaps, and he likes to A, be in the box, or B, be under one of the flaps and like.
Yeah, it's covered. So,
which is pretty awesome.
But I mean, they would come and they would chew on the boxes when we'd get stuff in. But they don't really do that much anymore. Honestly, a lot of times they will come up and sniff and chew on the tape that holds the box. It's something about the smell or the taste of the adhesive that they really like.
Okay. So how was your sprint?
I caught up reading on where I was in the Rage of Ragnarok, and I wrote 135 more words.
Nice. So. Well done. Okay, I'm going to pop into the comments real quick and see where we're at. Let's see. Jenny is working on her schedule for business and writing balance because it's not as easy as she thought it would be. Never is. Spence is editing an article about making traditional wood bows that her dad wrote because he's a TikToker now, and we're helping him get his internet presence out there. That's awesome. Eva is here. Hello and welcome. Let's see. Eva says that her cat likes to chew on some things, specifically pool noodles. These little interlocking foam tiles that are shapes or letters, or these other blocks that are soft foam-like material. I did find out I have about a foot of cable cover from covering a cable that went up to my ceiling for like a loop pendant light.
Right.
And I put this on the end of the microphone. Sorry, let me talk into the microphone. And he likes gnawing on that instead of the cable, so it distracts him somewhat from that cable at least.
Okay. Yeah, now that Eva mentions it, whenever we get stuff with packing peanuts, the cats always wanted to chew on the peanuts, but we always took them away from them.
Ow! Can we not? He really hates getting spritzed in the face, so this is my backup. Jacob, thank you for reminding me to subscribe. I have. Please don't ask again. Thank you. So Eva suggests grabbing a pool noodle. Makes a mess, but saves other things. It's a good idea. So I'm sorry I cut you off, Doc.
No, sometimes we get the ones with the water-soluble peanuts, and we let them chew on those, but they didn't like the taste of those as much. I guess they weren't when they start to dissolve while you drool on them. They're not nearly as fun as the ones you can sink your teeth into.
Right. I don't know what I was thinking. This dress I'm wearing today is crocheted.
And you have a friend.
I do. I'm being gnawed on. No, we don't hook on Mama's dress. I also have my slippers of ridiculosity to protect my ankles because he loves attacking ankles.
Mm-hmm.
I got them from IKEA about 4 or 5 years ago now, and they are down slippers.
They're down. Okay.
So when I call them slippers of ridiculosity,
they are big puffy slippers. Yep.
And they keep my ankles safe from attack kitties. So Eva says that a friend of hers has a cat who eats her chargers often. Don't know what trick works for cord biting cats, but so far none have worked for them. A friend of mine with a pair of new kittens says that the younger one is still catching up, but the older one, 2 sprints and he stopped. But the older one is profoundly deaf and the most mellow cat I've ever met in my life. So I think, noises not startling helps, but, vacuum cleaner, whatevs, dog barking, whatevs. So Eva says they've created a cabinet for their chargers. Other cords seem to be spared. Yeah, he hasn't gnawed on the one. A friend had somebody was getting rid of one of those pet fountains. Right. And he hasn't gnawed on the cable that powers that yet. He does like watching the water go floop, floop, floop.
Okay. So
Spence says, my sister crochets doobies full of catnip for her cats to distract them. I read that catnip doesn't work on cats until they're somewhere between 6 months and a year old. And he's just over the 6-month mark. So I'm kind of holding off till, I don't know, maybe Christmas on nipping him.
Mm-hmm. But once they get used to catnip, you just get them stoned.
Oh, so stoned. Yeah. It's my fault that he's this active right now because I was lounging around reading until go time rather than playing with him. And if I played him out earlier, he probably wouldn't be this playful now. But between 2 and 4 is a great napping time for him. Eva says she had a cat as a child who loved Pine Sol.
I don't remember cats particularly loving Pine Sol, but I do remember the cats would love it when we'd have the freshly polished wood coffee table, and they jump on it because they love to slide across it and take everything off the coffee table.
Nothing lives on my coffee table anymore because he gets up there because it's a great height and he can see around, but he skids, so everything gets knocked off. Eva says that the cats would just roll around on the floor anytime they mopped. It could just be, ooh, there's something clean. Let's put our pheromones on it again. Surf cats. Now I got Beach Boys in my head.
At one point, we actually had a coffee table that was like all scratching post. So we figured it's like, why get a coffee table and have the cat scratch it up? Let's get a scratching post coffee table and just know it's protected from the cat.
Yeah. Oh, good. He's playing with his box. He was meowing the other day because the box ended up getting skidded in front of the laundry room, and and he could get in and out, but it was between him and the litter box, and so very humph.
Someone has to move this for me.
Right? So Eva says, my old gal was very calm and chilled, never jumped on a counter or table. The young boy we have, he'll get on surfaces if we ignore his mews. Yeah, I knew there was no way I was going to be keeping him off the desk and the countertop here because this is the back of the couch and cats love the back of couches. And my desk is right here. And I have an island counter right there.
All right.
That backs onto the couch. So the island was just a no-go. I do have a laser pointer. Eva asked. He loves the laser pointer, but you have to hold it down to keep the laser on. and my thumb gets like sore after about 5 minutes.
Mm.
And I don't want to make him completely neurotic, so I try to make it disappear when it like runs under furniture or something. And so, yeah, I only bring it out on occasion. So
They love the Dot. They all love the Dot.
oh yeah, yeah. The Dot is the best.
Yeah,
So,
we've been lucky that we've never had problems with cats trying to get on the kitchen counters. But like,
I can't. My house only has so many windows, and the main living space, the only window in the main living space is over the kitchen sink.
mm-hmm.
So
So
I can't fault him for trying to get there. Uh-huh. Huh?
We'll get up on the sideboard and
Uh-huh.
has been known to get into the pass-through window. But that's as far as she goes. She goes that far and she stops and she comes back.
I had some my cousin came to visit with her new son last weekend before. And so I had 2 dining chairs propped over there in front of that bookcase, and dining chair to top of bookcase. He was on my mantle.
Yeah, I saw the picture.
Those chairs have been moved. I mean, the bookcase there is a lost cause because the cat tree is right there.
Yeah.
But my other bookcase is relatively safe. So
It's either that or you move the cat tree out into the solarium. No.
yeah. But I'm trying to keep at least one space cat free for friends who have cat allergies.
Mm-hmm.
And I have plants, and I don't know what sort of mess he might make out of that. And I don't know what's toxic and what's not toxic, so I just haven't messed with that at all. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. So for now, he's just chilling right here on the counter. He'll like nap there while I'm working when he's not in play mode. Supervising.
Yep.
Sorry, this is a writing sprint, not a let's talk about catechus all day sprint.
That's a different stream,
both.
right?
It's both. So, do we want to pretend we're productive?
I think we can pretend we're productive.
Okay, let me go ahead and pull up, reset this timer, and let's get started. To stream, and 3, 2, 1, boom. And we're back with a Sako who let me know that I forgot to actually turn on the timer. So how have you been? How is camping?
Camping was wonderful, and I had the chance to get flooded in my tent due to 2 ridiculous storms, and B, get teleport drunk.
Wow. So you ended up somewhere and don't remember how you got there?
It's more so I don't remember the events that happened between X time and X time.
Oh.
So
these things happen. I mean, I'm not experienced, but I've heard of. I'm not a very good drinker.
Oh, okay. I downed a bottle of vodka in a day.
I mean, I drink, and if I stop drinking, I fall asleep once I start. So,
yeah. Hi, people in the comments. It's really good to see all of you.
So, let's see. How was your sprint?
My sprint was good. I am wrapping up a scene and trying to figure out which scene is next.
Okay, nice. Doc?
I got down another 231 words, so I'm
nice.
Starting to get warmed back up to writing again.
I'm ready to throw my query in the trash and start over again.
Feeling that confident, are we?
It's clearly not working, so it's time to scratch it and try something new. Because I haven't gotten a partial since I started using this query. So, obviously, I mean, my story is amazing. Clearly, it's the query's fault.
Clearly.
So, I just need to get, like, my arm in the door. So how was everybody else's sprint? Let me pop to the comments. Let's see. Ellie Cat accidentally joined live and managed to get 44 words in. So that's pretty sweet. Jenny figured out her schedule, and now you got to stick to it. And Spence has started dinner and shared Dad's TikTok around. Nice. That's awesome. That's the crafting longbows. Longbows? Was it longbows? It was bows.
I don't remember.
I can scroll. I'm skilled.
We can scroll if we want to.
Traditional wood bows. There we go. So awesome. It sounds like a good sprint all the way around. So yay for everybody except my hot mess of a query. So it's the problem with queries is you start trying to turn them into synopses when that's not really what they're supposed to do, and you try to make them as brief as possible, and then you realize that maybe they're too brief, and it's a billion times easier to write somebody else's.
Yeah.
Really good. So we have been clarified the wooden bows are recurves. So Ali says, I literally took my phone out of my pocket and it was on your stream and I didn't even press to join. I think it did something as I took it out or something. Regardless, I'm here and happy to be here. Well, we are happy to have you. So that works out.
Obviously, this means that you were meant to be here.
Meant to.
Clearly.
Timelines are depending on this.
The sacred timeline.
It's a fixed event. So Maggie says they're getting weather to the north and to the south and to the west, but here on my brown square on the prairie, no rain. And this is why we need the sad trombone emoji or GIF, right? Oh, that's so frustrating. I have a dead lemon plant.
Are dead lemon plants known to bring rain?
No, I'm just saying I understand the sadness of not enough water. Although this one's entirely my fault because it's in the sunroom and I got tired of dodging the cat to get in and out. So, Allie says, probably was meant to be here. I also understood that reference. Loki here. I have not actually seen it yet, so la 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 la.
I'm watching the last 2 episodes tonight with my husband.
Awesome. So,
it is a good show. It never fails to give you twists you did not expect.
I guess.
As long as it's not twist for twist's sake.
It's not really twist.
Good.
Twist sake.
Yeah. That's one of the things I loved about The Good Place is just when you started to think you got the hang of what was going on, they switched it up. So I do plan to watch it, Allie. I totally do. I've been treating rom-coms because
yeah.
And I do better watching TV when I'm watching with someone than by myself, and so I'm rolling solo right now.
Oh.
So Spence says being my family's editor is fun sometimes, like today when I almost reduced my sister to tears by being graphically explaining why my dad is a better writer than her.
Oh dear.
Oh,
why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Apparently she deserved the burn.
I mean, ego is an ego.
Yeesh.
So Spence, how many writers are there in your family? Or perhaps more accurately, how many writers are you editing for in your family?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. We've talked about me cutting Dad off. I'm sorry. He's retired and I don't have time for his weekly whatevers. So seriously, oof.
Seriously, oof.
I would be very sad if I had a discussion with my sister about how Dad was a better writer than I am.
Mm-hmm.
I might cry. I would totally cry. Yeah, it would happen.
Does your sister edit?
She's my alpha reader.
Okay, that's a different skill than editing, though.
She was an English major, and she's going back for her library science.
Yeah,
master.
Like I said, still a different skill.
Different skill, but also
related, but different. Yeah.
She can also evaluate better writer, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for Spence, she said my dad and my sister. So, yeah. Jacob says that Aiden has been making him very upset at the school bus. I'm sorry, that's frustrating. I hope he's not being a jerk. Because nobody likes jerk faces. It's true. Not even kitty jerk faces who think ankles are delicious. And heads. What cat attacks your head?
It's like a hug with fangs. No.
A hug with claws. Yeah.
So, and lectures don't work because of the whole not speaking English thing.
Mm-hmm. Usually
spritz bottle in the face.
Yes.
Jacob agrees with me. People should not be jerks.
People should not be jerks.
So, but yeah, Cat does not like being misted in the face. So.
Had absolutely no effect on my cat's ears.
Ooh, Spence calling her out publicly. She should be better. She tries to write too formally and overcomplicate her language because she wants to sound smarter, when she really should just write how it actually is. Legit. Eva says, an editor talking to one writer about another writer, and the comparison is an odd situation. I'd hate to have been in that combo.
Yeah, no kidding.
Seriously.
Yeah, but when they're family members, and it kind of makes you wonder. Kind of makes you wonder if the sister brought it on herself. No.
Yeah. Spence says she needs to write how she speaks and calm the bleep down because she speaks well enough. And if she just stopped being pretentious about it, she'd be fine. I get that. I think my blogging has really helped me blog how I write. So my blog is not usually pretentious language. It's me talking, which is a very different style of writing, obviously. Oh snap! Eva says sisters always bring it on themselves. Spence says she takes my edits but not my advice. So when I give it to her, I get to be proper mean. Legit. My dad is the same way. He takes my edits and not my advice. Like, you don't hair color description name drop 5 characters in 1 paragraph on the first page. Even if you're trying to introduce the crew on the bridge.
Yeah.
No. It does, yeah.
Definitely. But when a published person, male, tells him that he shouldn't, he suddenly listens to that.
Oh.
And he'll ask for my query advice and then follow query advice from someone who's been in publishing for 50 years and maybe isn't really up to date with what they're looking for now. Advice from people who have had agents for 20 years on how to write a query letter for an agent.
Yeah.
Little catty, little petty.
Mm-hmm.
So, Maggie says, I spent hours in the early morning watering my gardens. Oh no, and now the power is blinking. Oh no, I hope it stays up. Eva says, my editor can just tell me that later. Someone told me that my mwahaha wasn't solid. And they're wrong because I have a solid mwahaha. I know what's wrong with people.
How bizarre.
Spence's sister won't use contractions. Is this academic writing? Because if not, why? Just say it's and not it is. No matter how many times I tell her, she just goes buh, 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 and I smack her in the nose like a puppy.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, my writing is a bit pretentious because it's steampunk and that's part of the voice of the character.
Right. Yeah.
But I also simplify it because I want the readers to understand what I'm doing. I use contractions.
Yeah.
What does she think she is, Data? No.
Right? I mean, I guess it depends where the character is and what part of society they're part of. But, I don't think this type of writing is what your sister is doing. I don't get that impression. So sometimes sisters are wrong. True fact of life. So try talking without contractions. It's hard.
It is hard.
Legit. Oh, wait. Does legit count as a contraction because it should be legitimate?
Yes.
Oh.
Legit is actually short for, that is quite a legitimate point you have there.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, if here's the theory, maybe her issue is she's used to writing for word count and so wants to keep adding words and splitting them up to get more words in there.
Yeah, maybe.
Wait. Their blog post about plants and magic. Is she trying for a minimum word count and she's scrubbing to get there?
Is she trying to be McGonagall? I mean,
I don't know. Who knows? So Eva says, legit is a shortened word, but not 2 words together. But will let me have it anyway. Because
so technically it's an abbreviation, not a contraction. Well,
an abbreviation, not a contraction.
I don't know.
Yes, but it's an abbreviation that represents a whole phrase.
Oh.
Because you have to understand why someone would say legitimate. in context, So yeah. I pick up so much slang from the internet, and I'm not even ironic about it. I'm like, that is useful. I will use it.
I will use it.
So, legitimately.
Nobody knows.
Hey, everybody knows my opinion on made-up words. If people can understand what you meant by it, it's a word, because that's what words do. They convey ideas.
They convey meaning. If people get the meaning, it works. Yep.
Even if it's not in a dictionary, if I understand what you mean, it's a word. So,
although that always bothers me when people go and change the meaning of a word to like the opposite of what it was.
Contronyms. It's because English-speaking countries are made of people, very, very sarcastic people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we have and I love that there's a word for it, because we do it so often.
Yep.
Like literally.
Contronym examples. Let's see. 10 words that are their own opposites. Let's see. Transparent.
Mm-hmm.
His lies were so transparent, obvious, or invisible. Put out. You can put out a fire, or you can put out many books.
Mm-hmm.
Left. He left the house. There was food left over.
Mm.
To dust something. Do you dust?
Is it a sprinkling, or is it the removal of all this stuff?
Exactly. To buckle is to bend, or to buckle in the car to secure something. To screen is to protect, or to screen is to show like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. To cleave is to join or cling to, or to split a log.
Yeah.
To execute is to start or begin, or to bring to an end. So yeah, anyway, hilarity. Love the fact that, yes, what Maggie says, language is a living thing that grows and changes. So Alice says, I was on 2 streams at once, and now it ended, so now I'm only on 1.
Okay.
Now we have your undivided attention now.
And Maggie hates contronyms, but they're awesome. And now I want to go dancing contra. It's been a while. It's European folk dance, for people who aren't familiar. The forerunner to line dancing, there's usually a collar and stuff like that.
Okay.
Would you not consider it a forerunner to line dancing?
I wouldn't know. I didn't know.
Okay.
Honestly, based on the name, I thought it was just some kind of Latin dance that I wasn't familiar with. So
no. It's definitely European folk dance.
Yeah. So, but now you're making it sound much more like polka. But
I mean, there are some grapevines and stuff in there, but I don't think you usually go boop 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 boop. Sorry, I know polka as well.
Okay.
It's a very different dance.
Yeah, I believe you and your sister did a lot of dancing growing up.
Yes, I did ballet, tap, jazz, modern, Mexican, character, swing, tango, a little tango, some rumba, some salsa, and obviously contra.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and some blues. So, but yeah. Ali says English is amazing. Multiple words or the same word that means different stuff. Definitely. People drive me crazy when you know they hit a thesaurus and don't understand the connotation that goes with the supposed synonym.
Yeah. It always gets me when people complain about nouning verbs and verbing nouns. And it's like, It's like it's a long and time-honored tradition. It's like, you know.
Do it.
My favorite to bring up is station. Is it a noun or a verb? Which did it start as? You don't know. It's been too long.
Yeah.
Science it.
I mean, I love me some Edom Online. Etymology is super fun. If you haven't checked out Edom Online, you can definitely see like when words were first like written down as a particular usage and where they may have come from. And anyway, it's fun for word geeks like me.
Woo.
And I suspect some of you may be word geeks as well. Let's see. Maggie said to screen is also to exclude something or certain people. Definitely. Hashtag shoe. Eva says, I just flail about and call it dancing.
Yep, you're my kind of girl, Eva.
I usually end up doing basic salsa moves when I'm flailing and with some modern arms. Conversate was my first versus converse, which just made me think of the shoes. I hear that. Maggie says, I dance, but my hubby does the white guy bounce by the wall. I mean, making dancing fun, all it takes is raise one hand, push her shoulder gently so she spins under it, spin her at least once every minute or two, and you're good. As long as you can find the beat.
Yeah.
Just don't spin her constantly, or she'll get pissed at you.
Yes, she will.
Or worse, she won't get pissed at you. She'll just throw up on you.
Never thrown up, but I did get really upset at a guy at a swing dance who kept spinning me while he stood there spinning me. And I was getting exhausted while he gets to stand there and watch me spin. And I had to like do a water break and lay down for 5 minutes at the end of that song. Meanwhile, another friend of mine was used to practicing dancing with his sister, and they were both like 6 foot tall. So he got used to, when he spins someone, putting his arm straight up. I couldn't reach that, so I couldn't actually spin. I'm like, I'm shorter. You're going to have to bend your elbow if you want to spin me.
Yep.
So.
Do not lose contact when spinning your partner.
No, and also don't make her tiptoe. It's very hard to spin while tiptoeing. Although I was very impressed to find a guy who could not mambo.
Yep.
Because it literally is stepping from one foot to the other on the beat, usually while bending one knee a little deeper. And that's it, but you do have to be able to find the beat. So I know 2 people who are incapable of that, but most people can figure it out.
Yeah, we took classes in swing, waltz, rumba, and it's like
love me a good waltz.
Actually enjoyed it and were pretty good, except until we got to the point where they started teaching all the swing moves that involve jumping, and it's like, don't have the personal energy or the knees to keep that up. And that was before my knees went bad. So
I've had some pickup dances with guys who want to dip you, but I can't trust them to hold me up. And they dip too far for me to hold myself up. And my back is not up to that. Either be solid that I trust you to dip me that low, or don't dip me that far.
Yeah.
If you're dipping someone you've never danced with before, stick to shallow dips, unless you really got the backing for it. And you know that she's going to, go with it. Because I definitely threw out my back once with somebody who didn't have it.
No,
they dipped me a little further than they were expecting, and they were slightly off. Yeah, it was not a good scene. It's not fun.
No.
So.
The thing that always got me is they teach you the basic step, and then they say, okay, now you're dancing. What are you doing the basic step? It's like, why is this wrong? It's the foundation of the whole thing, right?
Yeah, yeah. So Spence says she swing dances and waltz and can keep up with someone who knows what they're doing most of the time. Same here. If you have a solid lead, I can do almost anything, dance-wise. Maggie says my husband can carry a beat in a bucket with a lid.
Which is better than some guys.
Yep. And Eva says, lucky for my babe, I've never been the sort that like dancing with other humans. Solo flailer. When I go clubbing, I don't want to dance with someone unless it's an organized dance. Leave me alone and let me swirl myself. So I hear that. I hear that. So. Eva, I missed Eva saying my toddler is getting all the worst moves from his parents. So we have 10 minutes left. Do we want to do a sprint or do we want to just chat?
Chat.
Okay, yeah. I can talk. Shocking, absolutely no one here.
So did I miss anything cool over the past week?
My big news was Mom's heart checkup went great. So instead of emergency surgery or anything escalating, it's we're going to follow up next week and schedule sedately, and your arteries look beautiful. So that was my big news.
Yay!
And my big stuff was I went out to the Renaissance Festival yesterday to drop off my books. They open in 2 weeks, and I've got a signing out there on October, I believe it's October the 17th.
Cool.
So, but it was very hot. It was definitely August in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
But I found myself spending like 4 hours out there just because it's like, this may be about the only chance I get to get out to fairs here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Our local fair is in Maryland, and it runs from the end of August until the weekend before Halloween.
Yeah.
Because Rennies love a good Halloween.
Yeah.
And
it's a really good fair.
Yeah. Although it's getting more and more drunken hordes, so I'm a little wary of it being reopened.
Yeah, I have no problem with the artists and the performers. It's the travelers that I worry about, just because numbers in this region have been going back up again, and it's like,
yeah.
I'm just hoping that the people who are taking health risks are not the people who go to the Ren Fair.
That's the hope.
Yeah.
Popping back into the comments over on YouTube, Maggie says, when they dip you and their shoes slide and you both end up on the floor with his face in your cleavage.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's always fun. As long as you land as softly as possible. Sometimes it's a slow fall and sometimes it's a skid. So if it's a slow motion crash, it's funny. If it's a quick slide, it's we're going to sit down for a dance or two.
Yeah.
You should not dip your partner farther than you can support them.
Yep. And make sure you know about the floor and your shoes and everything before you do the deep dips.
Yeah.
So everybody's happy that my mom had good news. Let's see. One of the linchpin moments of my and Mr. Spence's relationship was a swing dance on New Year's Eve where he literally cut in between me and one of my friends to have the midnight dance with me. Ooh.
Ooh.
And everybody says congrats for getting your book at fair.
Oh, yeah. And I just double checked. I misspoke. It's the 16th. It's the Saturday of that weekend, the 17th.
Gotcha. Okay. That's awesome. So, oh my goodness. It's been a week. It's been a really, really, really long week.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Work was just crazy busy. I was doing a new data processing thing that requires like 2 hours in the hangar, standing up in the heat, melting to get the data off the aircraft before I can actually run the analysis.
Yeah.
And then the timestamps don't match up. So then I have to guesstimate the best I can and hopefully match the right log with the right flight. And yeah,
Nice.
I had to do one flight or 1 day's worth of data twice because I messed up the first time.
Uh,
And the hangar was really, really hot this week because it's 100 degrees in Virginia.
Yeah.
And there's no breezes in hangars.
Unless they keep the doors open.
We do have an AC unit that because we're 2-3 stories tall, keeps us 5 to 10 degrees cooler than outside. So it might have only been like 91 with no breeze and equal humidity.
we hit 110 when I was camping.
Oof.
Ugh.
So, but good time seeing people.
Good time seeing people. We had the benefit of electricity, so there were fans.
Oh, good. Did y'all have porta potties, actual bathrooms?
Actual
or-
bathroom
Nice. With showers?
and showers.
Camping's always better when you have access to running water and showers.
Yeah, it was on their land, so
Okay.
we just had to go to the big house for it.
Gotcha. My big issue with camping is part of the reason I don't think I'll ever end up in a tiny house is I like to be able to stand up when I get out of bed, and I like to stand up when changing.
Ditto.
And both of those things are challenging in both tents, and I assume many of the tiny houses that I've seen,
Yeah.
especially when they have the loft beds where you can sit up in them, but you can't stand up at the bed height. Yeah.
Back in the days when we did camping, we would actually get like the 6 to 8 man tents.
Oh, yeah.
Could
Yeah.
stand up,
I have a 10 by 14, so
but we would also bring the airbed with the dual king size air mattress, and we'd basically bring that and blankets, and we'd be sleeping in pretty much a full king size bed.
It's been a long time. Like I believe I haven't camped in probably 5 years, and I haven't camped without an air mattress since college.
I use a cot.
Mm-hmm.
I think the weirdest place I've ever slept was in a friend's living room on top of the massage table.
Oh.
Because they were out of crash space and that's what they had. And it was very comfortable, but you have to wake up to roll over.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You kind of vaguely have this feeling like you're on a sacrificial altar.
Oh, I see.
One advantage of the cot is the swing of the cot keeps you there, while the massage table is like you roll off.
I did not roll off. I'm very good at like waking up and assessing. Like my brain is pretty good. I'm also great at waking up 2 minutes before the alarm goes off because I hate alarms, as I think we've discussed before. I'm an alarm hater.
Oh, Spence is talking about glamping. So I sleep in fur.
Nice.
My blankets are and my pillowcase are made of fur.
Gotcha.
So it keeps me nice and warm on cold nights, and I can flip it over for the satin lining if I need to cool off.
Nice. Except satin doesn't breathe.
No. But it soaks in whatever temperature is around it.
Gotcha. Oh, Maggie, I'm sorry. She says it's been a still 2020 week. That's frustrating.
That is frustrating.
Oh, apparently Mr. Spence's cut-in at midnight dance was maybe less romantic because he's no good at swing dancing. Well, the thought that counts, as long as it wasn't a really good dance and he didn't stumble over your toes and he let you have another good dance with the good dancer afterwards.
Greg isn't the best dancer, but he can at least hold a beat.
True. Yeah. He can unce.
Unce.
Well, it is 6:30.
Yep.
Did we want to do our outros and think about dinner? Because I have something in the crock pot that finishes in about 15 minutes.
Cool.
What's in the crock
I'm going to have some pulled pork sandwiches, and they will be delicious.
Yes, they will.
Did you notice I didn't snack the entire stream?
Oh.
I think this is a first.
That is a first. Are you feeling well?
I mean, I did finish off some cookies. I had a ham sandwich earlier, a bag of chips, and half a sleeve of crackers with some cheese. So it's not like I didn't eat today.
So you snacked for most of the day.
I mean, yeah. So yeah, totally. Dinner at Morgan's house.
Yeah.
Maggie says, if the truck can get us there, I will cook or bake whatever the fam wants. We love the remote stuff, but hubby and I are now feeling our age in our backs after each trip. Legit. I went camping with some Boy Scouts who were like Eagle Scouts and the Girl Scout equivalent, and they had like cake coming out of like a Dutch oven dug into the ground with coals, and like salmon fillets with like lemon butter sauce, and it was exquisite. Oh my gosh, let me tell you. Mr. Spence is a much better waltz partner than he is a swing partner. So, Eva says Denver did win out over DC. So we should go to Maggie's instead of Morgan's. Well, she's a much better cook than I am. I mean, I had a slow cooker like seasoning thing that I opened the package and dumped in with the pork. Cool. And then I hit cook.
And it just works.
And this is the first time I've tried this, so hopefully it works. I mean, it's hard to go wrong with it, I would assume.
Yeah.
So if there's no stream next week.
Right? So Maggie says, I'll just lay out the fresh towels and bake fresh cookies. Ooh. I learned I don't actually like the chocolate chip cookies from the roll or from the tub.
Oh, really?
They don't get crispy enough without getting burnt and hard as I like them.
You actually bake those?
I'm not a cookie dough girl.
Oh.
I know. It's a travesty.
Well,
they're not bad, but they're not what I look for in a chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah.
So I like mine crunchier.
They're what I look for in chocolate cookie dough.
Maybe I'm cooking them wrong. Maybe there's like a variant where if you do it at a higher temperature for less time, they'll get harder without getting burnt. I don't know. I don't know enough about cookies. But I do know that the premix are not my style.
Yeah.
I can't get them crunchy enough without getting them burnt. And I don't like burnt cookies because I'm not a monster. You can like crunchy without liking burnt.
Yes, true.
So
you want there to be a little crunch when you sink your teeth into them, but them to still be soft and gooey on the inside.
I do like some gooey. It's true. It's true. I need to track down an old friend of mine whose parents had a secret recipe. I think he still owes me a batch of cookies. I think he owes me a batch of cookies for life because he, stood me up when we were going to go see Keira Knightley in the King Arthur movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't even message to say that, he had to bail. And so he owes me cookies for life. Now I'm just going to track him down and get cookies.
Enforce it. Yep.
I don't think I've talked to him in 10 years, but I could find him, I'm sure.
He owes you back cookies at this point.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Or he owes me the recipe.
No, I would go for the recipe and back cookies. So.
Right?
No, so that way it's for your life, not his life.
Exactly. Exactly. So let's do our outros. Sako.
Howdy, neighbors. I'm Sako Toomey, also known as Voit. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. So if you are looking to market yourself as an author, I have videos on the topic on my channel, Sako Toomey Voit. Please drop by. I would love to see you sometime.
Okay, and I am Doc Coleman, steampunk author. I write steampunk comedy adventure, and you can find all my books and find my website by going to your favorite search engine and putting in Doc Coleman Steampunk. I am editing the second book of an open-ended episodic series, The Adventures of Crackle and Bang. So be sure to look for the first book, which is The Perils of Prague, while I hurry up and finish The Kindred of Kali. Hopefully get that out next year.
Good luck. Good luck. And I'm Morgan Hazelwood. I blog, vlog, and podcast, writing tips and writerly musings. You can find me everywhere as Morgan Hazelwood, except Twitter, where I'm still Morgan Hazelwood, because someone is camping on it and not giving up an unused account. And I'm actively querying my first fantasy novel, and I've got some others in the works that I should really, really finish, like editing and getting out the door one of these days. So that could happen. So thank you all for coming. I should be back same time, same place next week. And have a great week and enjoy some cookies.
Yay!
Bye. Oh, wait. I'm getting tips on cookies.
Yep.
Maggie says, decrease the temperature midway through and they'll be crispier on the outside and still softer on the inside. If you start them hotter to cook the outside and then the center. Okay. So crank it up and then crank it down. Okay. Thank you. I will try this. Okay, now bye.